Jimmy Dore is a crazy motherfucker. That's the most I really have to say about him. We're going to be talking about something very bad that he did. Jimmy Dore used to work at TYT. It turns out Jimmy Dore has always been a piece of shit. It's not like he just fell from grace or whatever. He's always been a complete piece of shit because he recently admitted on his show to sexually harassing the Young Turks co-host, Anna Kasparian. So he admitted to that, drummed up a lot of controversy, a lot of drama, but guess what? A couple days ago, TYT responded to Jimmy Dore. So let's go ahead and hear about it. Let's go.
Unfortunately, Jimmy Dore used to work here. It's a decision I deeply regret. We try to expand the spectrum of what is acceptable thought. And so corporate media has it easy. They just have to ask, do you believe in the status quo? And people answer that, not explicitly, but implicitly through their answers, and then they get hired that way. We hire a wide range of folks, and sometimes it goes wrong. And Jimmy's one of those examples. So, and I found out recently about an incident that happened while he was working here. And now the person that's talking about it is Jimmy. So he has been attacking us online over and over again with nothing but lies and smears, some of which I'm going to show you right now. But we still held back. And of course it's frustrating. He was a friend, or at least I thought he was, to me and to a lot of people here. And we've been a little shell-shocked by not the disagreements. Who cares? We had disagreements when he was here. That's not an issue at all. But by honestly the lies and the smears and the attacks that were deeply personal in nature. So both Anna and I got frustrated. And at one point, she sent him a DM that Jimmy's going to talk about in this clip that we're going to show you. And it was basically saying, look, we know all these things about you that we haven't shared before, in a way of saying, we are holding back while you're going nuts.
Yeah.
Right? And so do you have no humanity or decency? And then you're about to find out the answer to that, because this is what he said on air. But before we get to that,
yeah. So I want to be clear about something. So the DM that I sent him specifically called him out on his constant sexual harassment of me at this place, at TYT. I also want to be clear that I didn't talk about it with anyone. I never talked about it with Jank until very recently, because for obvious reasons. And so I sent him that DM because the harassment has continued, directing trolls at me nonstop. And finally I couldn't take it anymore. So I sent him that message saying, you remember what you did to me.
Yeah.
And I can't stand that he positions himself as this moral fighter for progressive values when he and I both know the kind of behavior he engaged in when he was working here. So I wanted to give you that context.
So by the way, why didn't Anna tell me? Because I would have fired him. And
Let's be completely honest. The clip itself does not need any context. It changes nothing. Like, holy shit, I watched the original clip and it really does not require any context whatsoever. It really doesn't.
But here's how she's trying to threaten me. And I'll tell you why this is a big mistake on her part. She says, I'm sure you remember when you constantly made inappropriate comments about how sexy you found me at work, and even felt the need to ask me where I shop for my jeans so you can buy a pair for your wife so she dresses better.
Thank you.
That was followed by an apology card you wrote me for the degrading harassment. I've been holding back, letting you run your mouth nonstop as if you're some sort of warrior for what's good in the world. That's going to change. So now she's, instead of saying I'm paid by the Russians or saying I'm working for Assad, she's now going to try to pretend I sexually harassed her when I was at the Young Turks.
Now, I give you that as a lead into the story he's about to tell you, okay? So he claims and laughs about how Anna was pretending that he was sexually harassing her. Then we don't have to say anything else. Let Jimmy tell you what he thinks happened.
I'll tell you this story. The story about that was followed by an apology card you wrote me for degrading harassment. Anna Kasparian used to dress, when I worked there, unbelievably inappropriately for a newsroom. She looked like she was going to a rave. The skirt, one time she came into the newsroom with a skirt so short, it wasn't a pencil skirt, it was like a fluffy one too, but so short that she bent over in front of me and I literally saw her ass and her thong. She's wearing a thong. I literally saw it. Everybody saw it. And I go, hey, Anna, nice news skirt. And everybody laughed. Like, they laughed louder than I thought they would. And so it humiliated her. She got humiliated in the middle of the newsroom. And I did it. And I felt bad. At that time, we were friendly. And I was just busting her balls, right, for dressing like that in a newsroom. You're going to bend over.
Do you guys know what the appropriate thing to say there would have been? It would have been to go to Anna in private and say, hey, I just want to let you know, earlier you kind of had a bit of a wardrobe malfunction, and I'm just letting you know if you want to, like, wear something different if you don't know whether or not. Like, even then, like, saying that would be super creepy, but like that's the only way you could like make her aware of that in the least creepy way possible, being like, hey, the skirt that you're wearing is kind of prone to wardrobe malfunction, so I just thought I'd let you know. But you know, it's all good, you know? Like, that would be the least creepy way to go about it. If I was going to point that out to somebody, that's a big if, because usually I just wouldn't, then that'd be the way to do it. But the way that he does it is just absolutely fucking bone-chillingly gross. Like just, you know that feeling where you get like a shiver up your spine because something creeps you out so much? You're about to get that feeling.
Show me your ass. I think that's a little, I'm not offended, but I think that's a little risque. Imagine if I did that. I walked around showing my ass to everybody. So when I did that, so she got really mad. She got humiliated. Her face turned red. She tried to insult me back, and it just fell flat. And she looked, bad. And I felt bad for her. I didn't fight. I didn't want to make her feel that. But I just wanted to make a little joke. And all I said was, "Hey, you had a nice news skirt." And everybody in the newsroom, because everybody saw how inappropriate she dresses. She used to dress, and everybody saw it. And so that's why I got such a huge laugh. And she was so humiliated.
So he just tells a story like, haha, I humiliated her then, and now I'm going to tell you a story of how funny it was that I tried to humiliate her. Now, since it's Jimmy, half the story's not true, of course. But assume it is. That's your big hero right there that does that to women, looks up their skirt and then laughs at them and then pretends it's their fault that he's looking up their skirt. Now, parts of the story that aren't true. Of course, Anna wasn't wearing a skirt that short. Of course, nobody else saw. That pervert was trying to desperately look. That's why he made apparently several comments about her body before. And by the way, who was in the room? Anna was teaching at the time, and she had brought in her students, her college students here. No, they did not laugh out loud. Yeah. Jimmy, in his own mind, thinks it's hilarious to be a pervert sexual harasser like that, and thinks, oh, all the kids will love that. It'll be such a funny joke as I try to humiliate their professor in front of them.
And as I was walking in with them, that was when he made the comment, and he didn't make a comment about a news skirt. He made a comment about how sexy my legs were in front of my students. And it was degrading, obviously, and I want my students to respect me and take me seriously. Seeing an older man that I work with talk about my body like that in front of my students was wrong. And so for the first time, I actually snapped at him and told him to never make a comment like that about me again. And so I think he realized, oh, I think I might have gone, I think now she might actually like make a big deal about this, and that's why he wrote me that apology card to basically try to calm things down. But I mean, comments continued after that. Like, that's who he was, and he was, he pretends as if he's like a fighter for progressive values. I heard the way that he spoke to producers here. He is anything but the so-called leftist that he tries to present himself to be, and his audience reflects that. His audience reflects that in the way that they responded to that video. Because anyone on the left, anyone who wants to fight for decency, to ensure that everyone lives a life of decency, wouldn't watch that video and think, oh no, that's my guy. That's who I want to side with. That's who I want to fight with. Because everything that Jimmy does on a daily basis, his entire intention is to be indecent and to be incredibly cruel to others, regardless of how much he agrees with them, regardless of how little disagreement he has politically speaking with these individuals. It's literally his bread and butter. This is how he makes his money.
Yeah, look.
Absolutely. Yeah, Jimmy Dore is a piece of shit, both in regards to his political opinions and his actions. What constitutes sexual harassment? Sexual harassment is unwanted sexual comments or advances. That's a good way to, like, a pretty good definition to go by, right? We have a situation where Jimmy Dore, who is in a professional work environment, with Anna Kasparian, who is also in a professional work environment. Anna Kasparian is teaching college students, apparently. She's their teacher. She's acting, apparently she's a professor, I didn't know that. She bent down to pick something up, apparently. Now, from the sounds of it, it seems like it wasn't what Jimmy Dore described as in everybody saw it and everybody wanted to comment on it. And I was just the lone brave soldier who stood up and made the joke that everyone else wanted to make. And I just said it how it was. In reality, it seems like he was probably, Jimmy Dore was sitting there and he was probably, like creeping on her, just creeping on her. And decided to make a loud comment about it, which made her quite uncomfortable, and she blew up at him, justifiably so. I don't know if they show it in the video, but doesn't matter. I'm going to describe what happens next in the clip because I've already seen it on Twitter a million times. Jimmy Dore then goes on to try to claim that Anna Kasparian is blackmailing him. He tries to claim that by saying that she's not going to stay quiet, about Jimmy Dore's behavior anymore, that it's blackmail. Do we know what blackmail is? Blackmail is when you say, I'm gonna do this or I'm not gonna do this if you do this. It's an ultimatum. She didn't give an ultimatum to Jimmy Dore. She just stated, I'm going to make things like this public. I'm not staying quiet about your behavior anymore. Fuck Jimmy Dore. He's a real piece of shit. Real piece of shit. And it's nice to know he's also a perverted creep behind the scenes. Also, as innocent as he tries to make it sound, asking your, like, female coworker, or asking any coworker really, like, oh, you look so hot in that outfit. Where can I buy that same outfit so I can put my wife in it and she can look as hot as you? That is also quite fucking creepy. I know it kind of pales in comparison a bit compared to the comment about her skirt, but I would say they're pretty on par in regards to whether or not they're sexual harassment. They're both up there. Why is Chank's parting message Dore, I love Jimmy Dore then? How come? If it was a daily thing, you would think she would confide in Chank. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that, you do realize he admitted to the sexual harassment, right? Even if the story was exactly as he told it, that is sexual harassment. You realize that, right? You realize what you're doing right now is victim blaming. This is like the kind of message I would expect from like a right-winger that pops into Twitch chat to talk about how all women are liars and rape isn't real and Me Too has gone too far. How is this how is this person a fan of someone who claims to be a leftist? That's what I'm curious about. Anyway, it should go without saying, Jimmy Dore is a fucking creep. Do not support him. Not even just because of his shitty political views and his grifting, but because he's just a bad person. Don't support the fucker. He's a piece of shit. Anyway, with all of that said, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell icon if you're new and you haven't done it already. If you want to follow me on other social media, you can follow me on Twitter, Discord, Instagram, all the things, TikTok even. You could even follow me on TikTok. I really do appreciate it. You can also support me financially if you choose to do so, of course, on my website, xanderhall.com/live, through the subbing or donating on YouTube in the form of hitting the join button to become a channel member, or super chatting, or you can donate or pledge through Patreon. If you've got spare income, I would appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.